Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to set up these three textures and put them into a material, into 3ds Max, to make this project. Where are you? Uh-oh, I've been signed out. Awesome. To make this project, we're going to make this piece of this crate right here. And all we really are focused on, real quick, is one corner that we like the best. And of all these, of this whole crate, mask that out so we can see it. This is what we're going to make because we can use the symmetry. And what we're actually only focused on, if I hold Alt and click, I'm going to hide this by painting it black. I just hit Alt Delete. Hit Alt click. All we're caring about right now is just this piece right here, which if we hold Shift and click on the mask will just be one piece of this symmetrical object. Alright, so in Photoshop we'll create the texture first. What I want to do is I'm going to combine this painted texture and throw it on top of this rusty texture and start kind of do a paint through with the mask so we can get some extra quality out of it. So first off, what I want to do is hit Control A, Control Copy. Actually, I want to keep this picture. I want to do this one. Control A, Control Copy. Hit Control V, and I'm going to put this just right here for right now and hide it. First thing I got to do is get rid of design and disorder. Now this is horrible because I'm showing you what artists should never do. Taking someone else's work and making it mine. Please don't be mad. But we're going to make it even take it further. So I'm going to select around the word in big chunky blocks. And what I'm doing is getting myself the basic shape of what I need to cover. And I'm going to grab that and just move this into a different spot where the word's not. Make sure I'm in my proper layer. Hit Control Copy, Control V. Now I have a little chunk. I can hide it right over here. For the most part, this will work just fine. If I want to, I can hit Control E and it'll collapse this back down to the background layer. The simple thing right now is if I hit the heel brush, which is J, make my brush big, I get a sample. Let's go way over here. Uh-oh, spot heel brush. We want the healing brush real quick. So if I hold this down, we're going to use the healing brush tool. We're going to get a sample. That's a little big. You can tell though, that gives a good example. You can see what the sample is. It's taking that one corner and making it the brush. What it's going to do is blend the pixels. So if I just hold Shift and click, it's going to take that and blend the pixels. So now I have that problem. If I undo that, just hit Control Z and make my little area smaller. And that cleans it up just a little bit. So there's little touches up here and there. It's not perfect, but I'm not worried about that right now because we can paint that later. What I'm doing is just getting a base texture. We'll fix this in a bit. We might not have to. Alright, so I don't need you anymore. We have this guy set up. We have this guy ready to go. I want to make sure he's saved. So I'm going to hit Control Alt Save, hit JPEG. I'm saving over the same texture here. Hit OK. Now I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to hold Alt and on the background layer and drag up into the layer editor. I'm supposed to make a copy. It's not doing it. Fine. If I do that, I can do the same thing inside my window. So what I did was I'm in the Move tool, which is V. I hold Alt and I make a copy of my layer. What I'm doing now is I'm going to swap these guys up, and we're going to talk about the masks. I'm going to take some of these areas where there's some scratches already in the paint texture, paint them down, and try to get this to show through a little bit. We're going to paint in the actual texture map. So I hit Control Plus to zoom in a little bit, get some nice zoom in spots. Just pick an area. I'm going to use the brush tool and add a mask. Here we go. It's selected. You can tell because of the white box around it. Black is the color that you want to use. Black is what's basically like an eraser. You can see where the rust is now starting to push through. Alright. Now to to be honest, if we wanted to take it a step higher, think of it of how the object is actually made. You have a piece of metal, it's clean, it's brushed, it's primed, then it's painted. By the looks of what I have here on my object, it's been painted over several times, which means there would be several layers of color or hue change. So if you think about it, what you could do is I'm going to make another duplicate of this guy. I'll hold Alt in the layer editor. I'm going to get rid of my mask real quick. I'm going to delete it. Hide this guy. All right. So what we can do, if I go to my image, desaturate it, take out the color. I can go in here. I'm going to add a new layer. Fill it up with whatever layer it is. It's red. God. Okay. Come in here and change this to overlay. Is it overlay? Not you. Sorry, I did the red. Change you to normal. Change that. The actual black background, the black and white one I just created, change that to overlay. Oh God, we're going to change you. So what I'm going to do is double click on the layer, go to color, cover overlay, change that. There we go. Okay, so now we have about what we did. So all I did was a double click, get in the layers effects, and I changed the cover overlay. Double click, and I'll show you again real quick. Double click in the layer, you get layer style. I use a cover overlay. I can change my color right here. The reason why I want to do this is because I can change the colors very quickly without having to actually get into too many tools. And it's just an actual plugin, so if I want to, I'm going to actually go in here and go ahead and say image adjustments, use saturation. I'm going to change that saturation down a little bit on that red. So if I get that effect and trash it, it's gone. I took the red down to just a pink. Because this gray layer is overlay, it's passing through and showing the texture through it. So now I can actually change the type of color I want to do. Alright? If we go in here, we can actually take this mask. I'm going to throw it onto here. Just drag and drop. Move this layer. Put it below here. We want it to pass through to this guy here. The way we do that is we get a layer. It's a group. Put the two guys in here. Put the mask on the group. Okay, so what we've done is basically moved the mask that we've created, put it into a group. It's basically the same thing as putting it on an image, giving ourselves an image layer in which we can change the values real quick by double clicking, color overlay. Let's get a little pale blue into it. Over the years, I find myself gravitating towards a specific color often. I don't know why, but it just happens. So now that I have this guy, what I can do here, make a copy of him, and then I can add copy V, Control V. Oopsie, that didn't work. I do another mask here, and I can start painting into another layer. So what I can do with this guy is change his color overlay to something more like white. Put the mask up here, and we can paint the red away. Oh yes, that's the problem. Alright, we'll have to scratch that. Anyway, I'll get to it where we can actually add layers to it. The way we do is we have to have duplicate masks set up all the way down. Where am I not still? Oh, hidden. There we go. So I basically painting underneath the mask, and we do a harder edge brush to really start refining maybe part of the paint edges. Plus, so I'm using a harder edge brush, and now I'm actually following along areas of where the actual paint is, and it's taking it, take the next mask up here. You can see where it's all there right now. You guys see where I'm headed with this, yes? Okay. And you can start building your layers further and further up as you go. Okay. What I'm going to do is go ahead and save a copy of this JPEG, and I'm going to go ahead and call it just diffuse for right now. Hit save.
5 minutes.
So now we have that set up. We're going to put it in max and finish it up. Where did the video go? F10.